Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Again, let me just thank you all for that continuous encouragement to this Cricket Happening show. The response that I'm getting has been tremendous. So once again, I thank you all dear friends and subscribers for this wonderful support that you're giving to this cricket show. And that is what is really running this cricket show. Well, today again, it's going to be three matches that I'm going to cover. One match, there's not much to cover. That is because New Zealand made 392 for 5 as play was abandoned for the day on the second day, unfortunately, with Ross Taylor, who was actually out for, he was the only wicket to go. In fact, it was Daniel Vettori was the only wicket to go. Stump Taibu ball creamer for 38. Ross Taylor was retired hurt, and it was just at the end it was Doug Bracewell not out on 11 with 2 fours, and BJ Watling on his debut getting a 50, a very good 50 at that, 52 not out of 7 fours. So the second day's play between New Zealand and Zimbabwe was washed out. The play was abandoned abandoned yesterday at the McLean Park pitch in Napier in the first test. And stumps on day 2, that was the score. New Zealand were 392 for 5. Okay, so let's go on to the real one. The real one is between India and Australia. And what is happening to India is India are hurtling towards defeat in this, not only in the Border Gavaskar Trophy series, where it is going to become 4-0 for sure. The writing is definitely on the wall. India backs to the wall situation, 166 for 6 currently, under the 334 runs required if at all India would win the match, and that is next to impossible with Ridhiman Saha, the debutant wicketkeeper, and Ishan Sharma at the crease. Well, I can only say that this is going to be the 8th consecutive defeat for India as far as overseas test matches are concerned, and that is a really something that the India have to really work out on that. This is something which is alarming for India, unfortunately. And just a breaking news, not a breaking news, probably it's quite a possibility that Rahul Dravid, one thing that I would like to say is that he was not clean bowled in the series this time. He was caught. So that is something. And because he has been out 5 times in the series clean bowled. So this was the first time that he was out caught. And Rahul Dravid, I have a feeling that probably he might be thinking in terms of retirement. Well, let's get to that later. Now, the next thing that I would like to talk about is the Pakistan versus England clash, which was today was stumps on day 3. England actually stretched their lead to 75 runs. They were 327 all out, and then Pakistan, the young guns, Azhar Ali and Asad Shafiq, actually helping Pakistan recover from a very tight situation to close the day at 125 for 4, with Pakistan leading by 55 runs with 6 wickets remaining, and tomorrow would be the 4th day. So there's a definite result in this match, and England would be hoping that they can get some quick wickets tomorrow. Well, I'll be talking about it in detail, but the first thing that I would like to cover is the India-Australia test match, the report on day 4. Well, day 4 at the Adelaide Oval started with Australia just carrying on there with Ponting and Clark, and Ponting went on to be unbeaten on 60 with 5 boundaries. Michael Clark was a victim as he was caught behind by Ridhiman Saha, the wicketkeeper, or the bowling of Yadav for 37 with 4 fours. And Michael Hussey was LBW bowled Ishan Sharma for 15 with 1 4. And Brad Hannon was not out on 11. And Michael Clark applied the declaration 2 overs after lunch at 167 for 5, thus setting India a magical target of 500 to win the match. Bowling figures, nothing to talk about. Zair Khan 1 for 38, 2 for 73 to Ashwin, and 1 apiece to Ishan Sharma and Umesh Yadav. India, second innings chasing 500. Again, they were off to a very bad start as Gautam Gambhir continuing his very I would say a very tough series for him, because it was the first series for Gambhir in Australia, getting against the Australian bowlers with the conditions that were prevailing there, and Gautam Gambhir has really struggled. And today, once again, he was a victim of Ryan Harris, as Ryan Harris had him caught behind by Haddon for 3. So that is the first wicket to go, 14 for 1. India chasing 500 to actually win this match, which I said is next to impossible. And Virendra Sehwag and Dravid were at the crease. Dravid was a mere spectator, and Virendra Sehwag was in his absolutely merry self. He decided to take the attack by the scruff of the neck, and he decided to play the game his own way, and a lot of airborne strokes where he was lucky enough to get the ball over the fielder. But what was good about that was the precise timing that Sehwag had and the way he used to play his strokes. And his majority of his strokes were hit on the offside. Anything short and anything short outside the off stump, Sehwag really relishes, and that's what he did. His bulk of his boundaries, I would say, a bulk of his boundaries were hit through the offside, and he provided wholesome entertainment to the Adelaide cricket public there by slamming 62 of just 53 balls, 12 fours. It was a real treat to watch Virendra Sehwag go on in his merry way. Rahul Dravid was looking like a mere spectator at the other end, but Rahul Dravid was just guarding his wicket, and he knows he was under psychological pressure. The first pressure would have been for him not to get clean bowled in this series, and the second pressure would have been to get some runs under his belt. But for him, one thing happened, and that is he was not clean bowled. But Sehwag, as I said, he was just carrying on in his merry fashion. But one was expecting that Virendra Sehwag had to play a stroke at Nathan Lyon. Nathan Lyon, what was very impressive about the right arm off spinner was that he kept on flighting the ball, and he got a different line. Instead of going over the wicket, he came round the wicket to Virendra Sehwag. Virendra Sehwag mistimed that pull. He was trying to hit him on the leg side, and the ball ballooned onto the offside. Ricky Ponting took a dolly of a catch, and Virendra Sehwag was gone. 62 of 53 balls, 12 fours, wholesome entertainment for the Adelaide public here. And then Rahul Dravid was joined by Sachin Tendulkar. As I said, Rahul Dravid kept his wicket intact for quite some time, but when the score reached 100, Dravid was a victim of the bowling of Ryan Harris, as it was a beautiful catch which was taken by Michael Hussey there of the bowling of Harris, as Rahul Dravid is gone for 25 with 2 boundaries. Tendulkar and Lakshman at the crease. Tendulkar started off in a very aggressive fashion by hitting a very good boundary, but after that, as I said, Tendulkar once again failed. Probably would have played his last match as far as his career is concerned in Australia, probably, even for Dravid. And Sachin Tendulkar was a victim. Now, Nathan Lyon was the bowler who was the most successful bowler yesterday. His figures read 19 overs, 3 maidens, 57 runs and 3 wickets. It was a real battle, but I would say that Nathan Lyon has to be credited because he took the very vital wicket of Virendra Sehwag. Then he dismissed Tendulkar with Tendulkar getting an edge and Cowan actually taking the catch. And what was good about it was the ball was well flighted. It was a forward defensive prod from Tendulkar, and Cowan at forward short leg held the catch. He was gone for 13 with 2 boundaries. VVS Lakshman contributed 35, another victim of Nathan Lyon, the right arm off spinner. As Lakshman was caught by Marsh, he tried to play his very favorite stroke, that is the wristy flick, and Marsh took a real blinder, I would say, and he was gone for 35 of 88 balls with 4 fours. Virat Kohli, the Centurion, was run out on 22 just at the penultimate over because he was trying to take the strike and keep Ishan Sharma away from the strike in the last over, but it didn't really help him as Virat Kohli was run out for 22 with 2 fours. Ishan Sharma was not out on 2. Ridhiman Saha, the wicketkeeper, is keeping him company, not out on naught. India has a Herculean task ahead, and as I said, it's next to impossible to do that, and India probably, it's all over. It's going to be Australia would be taking the series 4-0, so it's another drubbing after getting drubbed in England, and also India hurtling towards their 8th consecutive defeat in test matches overseas. 166 for 6 India finished with. Bowling figures, Ryan Harris 2 for 25 bowled very well. Hilfenhaus had none for 33, none for 36 for Peter Siddle, 3 for 57, the most successful bowler Nathan Lyon, the right arm off spinner. And the other thing I would like to, so I'm going to really turn the focus now to the match between Pakistan and England, because I have to really cover it up because I don't have much space on this YouTube broadcast. So England actually finished off with, they finished at 327 all out, taking a 75 run lead. As far as today's feature was concerned was Ian Bell we could see some good strokes from Ian Bell. He made 29 with 3 boundaries. In fact, it was Stuart Broad who showed some very good batting skill, and he attacked the bowlers. He was not out on 58 of 62 balls with 6 fours and 1 6. 15 to Graham Swan, and Anderson made 13, and that was it. 327 all out, 75 runs lead for England. 4 wickets for 108 for Saeed Ajmal, and Pakistan in their second leg, they were 125 for 4 at close of play. In fact, the spinners were the one who struck today. Monty Panesar took 3 wickets and 1 wicket to Graham Swan. So, in fact, first it was Mohammad Hafiz who was clean. LBW bowled Panesar for 22 with 2 fours. Tawfiq Umar had a lot of bat and pad gap, and he was clean bowled by Swan for 7. A huge bat and pad gap, I would say. And Yunus Khan got a beauty of a ball from Panesar, the classic left arm spinner delivery, pitching on the middle stump and knocking the off stump. So that was a classical delivery. Yunus Khan was absolutely done in by Panesar. He was gone for 1. Misbah-ul Haq was LBW ball Panesar for 12. And Panesar was the successful bowler. 25 overs, 13 maidens, 44 runs and 3 wickets. Graham Swan, 15 overs, 4 maidens, 32 runs and 1 wicket. And the young guns of Pakistan, the next generation for Pakistan, is at the crease, but they've done a wonderful job. They have helped Pakistan to a score of 125 for 4 at close of play with Asad Shafiq not out on 35 with 3 fours. Azhar Ali looking absolutely impressive, and one of his shots of Anderson was a real classic. It was driven over extra cover, but what a shot it was from Azhar Ali. Absolutely the shot of the day. He was not out on 46 with 7 fours, and Azhar Ali, let me tell you, is the real future for Pakistan. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And Asad Shafiq, as I said, the young guns are in operation right now for Pakistan. 125. So looking at that, they are 55 runs on, 50 to 55 runs on, and it looks to be a very good clash tomorrow coming up. And let me tell you one thing: the crowd really thronged the stadium. The stadium was thrown open. There are free tickets available, and there was a lot of crowd to be seen. I mean, it was very surprising just because they actually threw the crowd through the tickets. The tickets were free. There was a lot of crowd at the stadium, which was good to see. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the Cricket Happening show for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.